Hey guys, welcome back. And it's Lucid. I've got another couple turns actually for you here. This is going to be a twofer. I got 2 turns to go through. So first off, we found a labyrinth of skulls. And with the power of the Inkpot End and the labyrinth of skulls combined, we basically have a well of misery that generates a bit of unrest. I need to think what I want to do with this province. I think if I get enough candles here, maybe, which is going to be hard without having a preacher I sacrifice. I might be able to get the unrest down to an okay level. So we'll see. I mean, having order is pretty good for high unrest. Order is not very good if you're like medium to low unrest. We'll keep an eye on it. It would be good to blood hunt this to the ground, because I'd get a lot of income from it, and proportionally, it doesn't give that much. It doesn't give that much income given its population size, so it's not a decent place to convert into blood slaves. But my blood hunters would get disease, so maybe only later when I have vampires. We also found a cloud pillar, which we really have not found many air sites, even though we've done a fair amount of air site searching. This is kind of the first one, but we get a pearl and an air gem. So our gem income's starting to kind of creep up. We're at 2 air gems, 4 fire, 3 water. And the reason we're at 3 water, by the way, guys, is because we have a battle here in Atlantis. I'm not even sure what they're all shooting at here. They're supposed to be shooting at archers, and they just lobbed their first. Yeah, these guys on the tower wall are not taking much. Yeah, that guy's about 3 out. They're really not taking much damage from the archer fire. But we got the commander or something. Anyway, they're running. And I don't think we lose anything. Oh no, we lost an occultist. I can't even remember why. I think he got hit by an arrow. Oh well. We lost a Malia Drazina. But Atlantis is now ours. However, he also broke out with a commander. However, I think he destroyed the lab with this. He has moved on top of my other fort, Peacehaven, with his little squad of Atlanteans, bent on causing me some heartache. I'll just point out, he could, if he wanted to, have gone after TNG, but he has decided to funnel his energies into fucking with me. I will say I do have maybe a little bit juicier stuff. So those guys are there. Oh yeah, this is probably the most embarrassing thing that's happened in a while. So watch this. This is the throne. Here's the idea, right? They run forward, we flaming arrows into them, and after like 4 volleys, we should have most everything destroyed. But now watch what happens. I have these guys on hold and attack closest. So they all run over here to these phantasmal warriors, which are over on the left. I didn't predict this. I didn't think this would happen. And they have completely left this flank open. And watch what happens. It's like slow motion agony. No! Fuck! Because they can't really kill my Malia Drazina very easily. Yeah. This is not good. And then in the darkness, these guys actually have respectable stats, whereas they're normally stinking hot garbage. Oh no, they don't have dark vision, huh? This hurts, guys. This really hurts. It's embarrassing. It's painful. I knew this was a little tight, but Grippa told me to do it. He said we'll be fine. Um, where is it? There's a lot of gold. This is this is 800 gold of Malia Druzina. It's about another 800 of crossbows. So that's putting us right up at 1600. And then I'm pretty sure when you factor in these guys, we're well past 2000. So that's a big deal, you know. That's like a whole turn's disposable income after upkeep. And it's going to be a while till we can get more stuff like that in the region. And we see some more raiding over here in the Monkey Elf War. And this is kind of interesting. It's, you know, Maryland has played a lot of Patala, so he knows a lot of how Patala works. And Vinisar, who's on his team, has played a lot of elves. So in theory, they have all the tools. But like I was mentioning earlier, he's pretty small. And Patala, the players playing Patala are like monkey specialists. So it'd be interesting to see how this goes. And spoiler, there's going to be something interesting next turn, which is my current turn. Now, I was thinking we can run in and take this, but after getting spanked here, and us now having nothing in this front, which, by the way, is a problem potentially if Atlantis runs this way. Anyway. Yeah, we're going to take it easy on the next turn. I can't afford to keep losing 2,000 gold worth of armies. That was pretty painful. I think what would have saved us here is hold an attack rear. That would have basically blocked everything, I think. And it's so weird how like one little script can be the difference between winning or losing. It would have been a little spicy. We would have probably lost some stuff, but I think we would have been fine. We just needed a few more rounds of pumping crossbow bolts into them. Yeah. So that's a bit of a zinger. And, yeah, I think that's about it for this turn. What we're going to do, what I had to kind of figure out this turn is how do we split this army into two sections that can each individually kill this force. And I think the best idea is sending these guys, these bowmen, with the Flaming Arrows squad. So they'll be doing Flaming Arrows on all their little short bows. And then sending the crossbow over here, and each stack gets a bit of Malia Druzina. This one doesn't get nearly as many. Or no, it does. It gets 36. This one gets 24. So we'll see. I think both of these should kill Atlantis should they run into us. But, you know, we'll just have to see. And here, we're going to be breaking siege with the scout. He's going to be on fire. And he only has one commander in this army. So he can't really leave anything behind. Except maybe like a injured dude. But yeah, that's basically it. Research, we're plugging away. Right now we're working on Enchantment 6 and then Construction 4 and Conjuration 5. We're actually going to change that next turn. We'll go ahead and pull up next turn. This is our current turn. So, I don't think we find any magic sites. A bit of a zinger. He attacks us here in the swamps. And this is a little annoying, and he took this from TNG. This stuff is exposed. So, I don't know. This opens up potentially some interesting options for TNG if he can take this. You know, since there's no worm here, but he would have to chew through the skelly spam, or he can jump on top of the worm solo. Problem with jumping on top of the worm solo is the army could come in here. I don't think the army will. I think that's like an ultra low probability move. An ultra low probability move. What I think the army's going to do is I think the army's going to come here, and there's a decent chance the worm supports the army. And then there's also a decent chance the worm raids me here. Because what it looks like I will do is, of course, I'll chase his army with my army, except that would be an obvious move. So I think instead we're going to send the Gimp commander in with the Gimp squad. They're all afflicted up. So we're going to send these guys in here. And I think we're going to move the army down here. And this army should be able to kill the worm. Now, if he moves where I think he'll move, which is right here, what do we do? Well, that is a fine question. I think what we do is we bring all of our mages out and have them fight. And we've got some really kind of interesting fidgety things that we're doing here. And basically the task to us is how do we get the absolute most... First of all, there's no reason that we should be able to take a fight. Like these guys with the god should smash us in cold 3. And what do we have? We've got 40 crossbow, 31 there and 9 here. And we've got 6 Malia Druzina. And we've got like 10 mages and a bit of PD. And so how do we throw that together to kill 80 of these, well, 63 of these ice dudes plus his god in cold 3? And I believe the answer lies in crossbowmen. Put this guy a little farther back. We've changed research to pick up Thom 2 before we get enchant 6. And we've got everybody coming over here. And basically we're going to be doing... So we picked up Thom 2 for Mind Burn, and we're going to have these guys start off combat with Power of the Spheres, Reinvigoration, and now they're going to be Astral 3s casting Mind Burn. And that should be pretty powerful. I mean, they're going to get a pin bonus for it. It's going to be half the fatigue. They should just be able to spit those things out pretty much non-stop until Atlantis routs. It's going to cost us some pearls. We're having other guys do Power of the Spheres and then Aim and then Lightning Bolt. These guys will probably be a little more fatigued out after all of that. But Lightning Bolt here I think is a bit better than... if it hits, it's a bit better than... Well, let's think about it. Yeah, I think this is fine. I mean, the problem is we're going to be taking a big fatigue penalty for doing Power of the Spheres. This is basically going to cost us 50 fatigue, but it's going to make this, which costs 10, only costs 5. I think it's actually better to skip this. I've got a test game. Oh, we can't do it. I forgot. What was our script for this? 5. Yeah, I forgot. Lightning Bolt, we have to be Air 2, so this is non-optional Power of the Spheres. Yeah, okay, so then we're just going to be dropping a bunch of Lightning Bolts. We could have this guy instead just do Mind Burn or something, but I think this is fine. Lightning Bolt's better than Mind Burn because it does more damage. And I think it's also lower fatigue. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's lower fatigue. It does more damage. It has to hit, though. Mind Burn is always going to hit, but it may fail an MR check. And I think with Aim, it's going to hit pretty gosh darn often. Pretty gosh darn often. So anyway, we've got some of these guys doing this. Our communion is super fidgety and funny. We've only got one communion slave. It's this guy. We've got 2 communion masters, and the script is communion master, Power of the Spheres, Horde of Skeletons, and then Reinvigoration, and then they go. But basically the idea is the slave isn't giving them any path boost, but for them to cast Horde of Skeletons, they need to do Power of the Spheres. So he's basically just a fatigue sink. And one thing I wanted to check, but I can't remember, is, and we have a test game. Let me pull it up. One thing I can't remember is how does... I think these guys aren't going to do Reinvigoration until the 4th script. Okay, these guys are Communion Masters. Now they're going to do Power of the Spheres. Now they're going to do Horde of Skeletons. 1. he's only at 120. 2. Yeah, he's at 150, so this works fine. And then reinvigoration. And now he's reset to 0. And now we basically have 2 death 2s that are going to give half of their fatigue to this guy. And just makes him long dead. We also, some of our blood, I think only in the game, one of our blood ones is going to be summoning imps. And basically we just need to give some garbage for these guys to hit while we zap them with lightning bolts and mind burns, and you can see those all coming down in crossbow bolts. And we probably don't kill the god here. Though maybe we do. Yeah, we don't. So anyway, this can play out a lot of different ways, but I run this with like way worse scripts than this, and almost always we win. Sometimes it gets real close where we're like all the PD routes and they start hitting the crossbows, but usually the worm will die, and as soon as the worm dies, they all run. So anyway, it's a little fidgety, but I think this should work. It's basically the power of mages. And what's beautiful about this is probably somebody has sent him the screenshot of me failing that throne in the previous turn, which, by the way, I mean, it is painful. I hate that. I really hate that. But presumably he knows I actually don't have much military down here. And this would be... There's a bunch of reasons why I kind of have to protect this. One of them is there's a steel ovens here, and I don't want people knowing that I have it. Because that's gonna... I would attack me if I knew I had steel ovens. Maybe. I mean, it's really good. You don't want people knowing you have it. So we really want to defend it. Also, the opportunity cost of not defending it is huge, because it's a super high income province. So really, 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 really want to defend it. And that's what we've scripted. We've scripted our best shot at defending it. We're casting a few more Dark Knowledges this turn. This army is going to be moving over here. Like I said, we're going to try to catch the god here in case he does something fancy. We're going to be sending a little Bugaboo squad over here. I'll probably just send these dudes, or these dudes, which are going to be over here. I'll send them on chasing these guys. I probably keep this one somewhat in the area. That we'll see. But it'll be good to go ahead and get friendly. One thing I'll probably do if we come down here is I've got a fair amount of eparchs in this army, and they'll probably go ahead and preach this up. Get our Dominion in there, which will, give us a bonus 20 income or 30 income. And yeah, that will hopefully be pretty good. In terms of research, we're 2 turns away from enchantment 6. Our research should be going up a lot, but we're using a lot of our mages potentially to fight Bogarus to fight Atlantis this turn. And then it's going to be construction 4. Our research has been a lot slower than it probably should have been. We got Koshke. I don't know how you say that. The Deathless. So this dude's immortal and old, which is kind of a weird thing. He tends to get super afflicted. And I think we kind of kill him off to get rid of afflictions. I'm not totally sure how that's going to work. But also probably not a bad idea to put unaging boots on him once we can forge some. Keep the affliction count a little low. Yeah. But he's pretty sick. He can do magic phase attacks, so Cloud Trapeze, and he can do Wind of Death, which I think is probably the main use for him, but he can also do Wailing Winds and stuff. All in all, pretty darn tootin' good. We probably need to make the right gear for him, but should not be too terribly hard. I think what the best way to do... He's also water too, which is important. And there's some water stuff that we wouldn't probably be able to cast without him. So that's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, he's also Death 3, which is quite nice. I think that's the highest death we're going to get access to. And potentially he's going to be our ticket to vampires. Maybe we blood empower him and let that be a thing. So anyway, that's super nice. For now, he's just going to research. And I don't know if I mentioned it. We got this dude a previous turn. This is a 1 in 40 Staretza. And it's like, I needed this. And this means we don't actually have to go Conjuration 6 to put up Eternal Pyre. However, we will still need our god. So we have to get our god, and then we have to send our god here, and then we have to forge a Ring of Wizardry, and then we have to cast it. I've been trying to buy fire gems off of Falegra, who's dying. Where are they? Falegra's over here. And unfortunately, they said they can't because they're like pinned in their capital already. So that's a shame. Then what else? We've got... Oh yeah, there's some important battles. So Bandar has rolled out. Get out the popcorn, boys. We've got a fight between Bandar and Midgard. And he's got... this looks like kind of like evocation bait. He's got some Claymen, which are just kind of chaff, and he's got his god, which doesn't have much. It does have a limp affliction, but it's got pretty good weapons. Are these two-handed? No. Yeah, so he hasn't even really kitted it out yet, but she's still pretty fearsome. Yeah, she's goddamn scary. What is it, 10 natural protection? 7? Okay. Yeah, she is frightening. Cannot magic face, though. Overly attached girlfriend? Yeah, I would say so. And then some Nagas, some of these cudgel-carrying Bandar, a big line of crossbow and light Bandar archers, and then some more Atavi. And the amount of the quantity of archer fire here is pretty huge. And what is apparently interesting is this guy has been empowered in... Yeah, it was that guy, right? Has been empowered in fire. And they cannot roll fire. So that was totally an empower. Maryland asked me if I gave them the fire gems, thinking I would... Maybe it was me. I was like, hell no. I'm not going to do that. So he thought they were empowered fire too, which I don't think. I think they do Phoenix, Communion Master, Phoenix Pyre. Oh no, they just do flaming arrows. Okay, so he wasn't fire 2 ever. But now this is going to be a problem, because now all these guys throwing poo, it's now flaming poo, and flaming poo is a lot more scary. And so now they're hitting the archers, and the archers aren't going to last long, and the vans are running in. And vans do not like this kind of aerial bombardment. The archer's not quite dead yet. The van's getting pounded on, and they're not extremely killy. Like, they're a little killy because they have larger, but they're getting bogged down, and now there's not many left, and they're running. Like, that was it. They just got absolutely roasted. And so this has me worrying, like, okay, are they going to survive? And we need to start preparing to potentially vulture off of them. And I don't mind having Patala as a neighbor. But I would rather them not be very big. Or I would rather them take a while. I don't want them to win right away. But like I said, I like both players. Fortunately for Midgard, a few of the Van Jarls made it out. He's saying the next time he's hoping to have Conjuration 5 by the time he fights these guys again. And with enough air elementals, you can do magic. So we'll see how feisty he is. The good thing is that he had this loss in the cap circle of the monkeys right up here. And what that means is it's still 1, 2, 3 moves to his capital. So in that time, he can research more, he can rally more troops. etc. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah. Also, Caleb continuing to apply pressure on Raga. And I think he must have gotten Raga's cap on lockdown or something. I don't know. Raga doesn't have any money this turn. Raga wants to buy money from me, but he's traded away all his fire gems. All he can trade me is water. And I don't think I really want water right now. And I also don't really have money to send. I could cancel troop recruitment, but after these losses, I kind of need more troops. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's basically it for the turn. This is pretty... If this works, I'll be pretty tickled with myself, because this was pretty MacGyver-y, you know, like this weird one slave communion, everybody casting power of spheres at the start of combat, a bunch of really weird shit that I've never really done before. So that's kind of cool. And it's stuff like this that you don't really think of until you're in a slightly desperate position. I mean, this isn't desperate like I'm going to lose, but it's desperate as in like I don't have the tools I need in the right position when I need them. And so we have to come up with something else. So anyway. We've managed to get the unrest down here, and we've gotten friendly candles in already. So the income here has jumped up real nice and purty. And yeah. Got a citadel here already. Probably need to upgrade some of these forts too. We got a boatload of fire though. We're at 4 income. I would like to get this up to like 10 as soon as I can. Let's take a look at our site searching real quick. Oh man, we're almost done with fire site searching. We've really only got a few places left to look until our next war. And our upkeep is jumping up by almost 100 every turn, probably by like 90 every turn. So it's a bit of a problem. If we get some more provinces like these thrones that I was wanting to take, that will take a lot of the pressure off. That being said, wait, do we have, yeah, I think we'll be okay. I'll put the archers on the mages. Yeah, in 2 turns, we'll go hit this. Once we have Aerofin, this will be pretty trivial. But I think, we need to site search this still. I think we're going to research, and then Milady will walk over here with the group in 2 turns and fight, and then come down and hit this. So, anyway, that is it, guys. I guess it was a kind of short episode after all, only 30 minutes. Yeah, there's not too much else to talk about. What am I doing for recruiting here? We've got 2 commander points left over. Ooh, I could get a mage in there. Yeah, let's get a master of names. Get our research going a bit more. Are these guys old? They are. One thing that sucks is I don't have flaming arrows for this fight. I really wish I did. It'd be really good with the Bogarus PD is not great, but at least we have, you know, archers. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Cheers.